Hold on. Alright, Shalom, y'all. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire, and Shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I want to go. I titled this live the rona vaccine / rfid chip and the God gene, because there's something that was brought that I basically said, like, yeah, that's what they're trying to do, because I found out that Esau was doing research on trying to get rid of what he calls the God gene, which basically is our connection to the Most High, the zeal that we have, and that connection to the Most High. Whether we have the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai or not, that basically that zeal that we have, which they want to get rid of that, which yeah, they want to get rid of that sense of right and wrong, and they want to get rid of that. And recently, some came out, during the vaccine trials, AstraZeneca rona vaccine trials that they were testing. One of the test patients had basically said that I can't feel God anymore after taking the shit. And that links up right where I was saying, and that's very important to Esau, because he wants to push that chip, and everyone knows that it's the mark of the beast. Most people do. Most people can understand that the RFID
These are some real devils. But with that,
is the mark of the beast, and so I want to start off by playing this video that I was watching. All right, let me just play this the video by the brother Bakar Ahmad from he kind of
All right,
goes into
Shalom.
that.
First, we
Check
give
that
all
out.
praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash.
Actually, hold on. Because basically, the brother Bakar Ahmad, he posted that AstraZeneca, basically, one of the people that had taken the vaccine and while they was testing it out, they had basically they said that yeah, let me just play this one.
All right, Shalom. First, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Just wanted to put this out there. All right, this is a short clip. I started looking into this. Okay, after I saw this video here. Okay, I believe it was the brother, the Kingdom of Israel had done it, and it was re-uploaded. Okay, and I watched this video, and in here, all right, there's a certain point, which is funny because my brother had mentioned it to me earlier. About a couple weeks back. Where he just got up, he was like, "Yo, I got a feeling that like what they're gonna do is they're gonna use this vaccine to make people docile, and then it's gonna make them more willing to take the chip." Which in my mind it was like, yeah, that's a possibility, but it wasn't. It didn't. I wasn't really harping on it. And then I watched this video here. All right, the brother put it together nicely. Now there's a certain part in here, this part right here, where if I'm not mistaken, this is what a Pentagon, right? DOD briefing, okay, chemical lobotomy virus, and what he's talking about here is what I have here. They call it the God gene. All right, it's known as the VMAT2. Okay, vesicular monoamine transporter 2, or otherwise known as the God gene. Okay, and in a nutshell, this is the part of your brain, all right, which scientists have able to, or they claim to have been able to quantify, all right, in essence, the part of your brain that allows you to be quote unquote religious, allows you to have your zeal, all right, your spirit, all right, that strong sense, okay, of belief. They call that the God gene. Now, I'm gonna bring this here. You see, I don't know if, let me see if it zooms in. There we go. They say this should be the part right here. Now they say the dude said that with these two images, after this individual was showed a religious video, all right, or something along those lines, there's a certain part of your brain that lights up, okay, before, all right, before you get that gene suppressed or removed, however they're gonna do it. There's a certain part that lights up, which will be where your God gene is located, or the VMAT2 gene. Now, after they get injected, or after they take that vaccine, when they hear that religious, video or whatever the case may be, another part of their brain now lights up, and that's the part of, being disgusted or unwilling to believe in it. So in essence, what they're trying to do is take away your zeal, take away your drive, Because, hey, Apostle always mentions it. You have these Edomites that are, they got their guns in one hand and a Bible in another hand, Bible belt, talking about, they know the mark of the beast is the chip and they're not going to take it. A lot of people are waking up and they know the mark of the beast is the chip. But yet Esau is not panicked. Let me get the...
And the people that would have that gene most prevalent would be Jake, be Israelites, and this devil don't want us to have that zeal. Let me continue. Let me continue playing the video though.
Scripture here in Revelation, because the scripture says he causeth all. Okay, and we're seeing that. Okay, the closer and closer we get to this prophecy, the more and more clearer it is. All right, and he causeth all. Now, when you go into the word causeth, okay, because they could very well, do it this way. You get the vaccine, your ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be coerced into taking the chip. You're gonna have no problem consenting and taking the chip. All right. Now the word for causeth, it says here. I'm gonna look for the good definition. To make ready. Okay. To make ready, to prepare. All right. So he causeth all. He makes ready all, or prepares all. All right. To make a thing out of something. All right. To render one anything. Where's the part I'm looking for here? There we go. To make ready, so that at the time to institute. Then it says, comma, the celebration of the Passover. But in this sense, he's making you ready. So at the time to institute that chip, you're going to be willing to take that chip. Okay? Because we don't know what exactly is in this vaccine. But according to this deal, this Pentagon briefing, which, you have a lot of people who call themselves debunking it. That's not real and it's not true. But a lot of people didn't believe the things that we've been saying for the longest. But yet it's happening. Okay? These devils, all right, are trying to take away your will and your zeal to resist. Okay? So that when they bring that chip, you're basically like a brain-dead zombie who's just willing to be a slave to this society, man. To their new world order. They don't want thinkers. They want slaves. Okay? That's a danger to them. A brain, somebody with a thinking brain. They try to do it in slavery through whips and chains and shackles, but they realized that wasn't the way. All right, you have to take away that God gene, that VMAT2. You got to suppress that or take it away altogether. All right, and in this clip of the briefing, they did mention how they could use it by way of a flu. All right, to really get it, worldwide. So for all we know, this coronavirus could have been or is that perfect storm to affect the whole world, and that's why they're pushing for vaccines so hard. Notice the chip, they haven't really, as of right now, they're not pushing for the chip as much as they're pushing for the vaccines, and what that leads me to think is that the vaccine is the prelude, all right, to that chip. And if this is what they're going to do, then you better make sure you stand clear of that vaccine, man. Okay? You got people telling you, take the vaccine. No, don't take the vaccine. You take the vaccine, you basically rendering your willpower, helpless to take that chip. All right, but yeah, it's a good video. I recommend brothers to go take a look at it. But what I'll do is I'll do some more research because I'm a little new to it, so I'll do some more research. And Lord's will, if I find some gems and some some good information in here, I'll bring it out, man. But Esau, that's how the scriptures say they're wiser than Daniel, man. Okay, there's nothing that escapes from thee. They have done research. These elites don't sit on their ass for hundreds of years and not. No. They do research, man. They have the money, the scientists, the brains, all of that to do it. Okay, and they do their research. Hey, these are some devils, man. These are some real devils. But with that, I'm gonna end it here. Okay, call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Shalom.
Hey, so you heard the brother Bakar go into that, and he recently posted he recently posted a post. He posted a post on YouTube about how Esau how Esau was testing this vaccine, AstraZeneca vaccine, and the person who they tested it on said that they killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead after the vaccine. And it's a Before It's News article. And yeah, Esau wants to kill that gene so that you willingly take the rfid chip. Shit, they may just offer you the rfid chip right there, man. And that's Satan's devices right here. That's 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we always gotta stay woke. We always gotta stay alert. Yeah, I believe that I'm subscribed to them, so I should be able to find their video about that. I mean, the article about that. So now I'll just look it up. For the rona vaccine. Hey, there's a BitChute video. Someone is basically bringing that out. Play it. That shit's weird. It's a silent video. Doesn't really read it out for you. And they have an article in this, yeah, I'm gonna get the article. Alright, yeah. The title of this article is they've quote unquote they've killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead. After the vaccine, urgent read, quote unquote, after the vaccine. It's an urgent read. Yeah, they've killed God. I can't feel God. My soul is dead, quote unquote. AstraZeneca halts COVID-19 vaccine trials after second volunteer develops neurological problems, quote unquote. Well, you already know they performed a chemical lobotomy on his ass. World News Desk. Okay, from the 20th of September of 2020. Hey, hit. For hits it says 21944. So I mean that's the spirit right there. The spiritual right there, because as a hopeful 144K elect, we gotta know about this. This could be what they up to. I mean, they already caused that in this volunteer. It's from the Hal Turner radio. Alright, let me get into it. AstraZeneca revealed details of its large coronavirus vaccine trials on Saturday, the third in a wave of rare disclosures by drug companies under pressure to be more transparent about how they are testing products that are the world's best hope for ending the pandemic. The release comes after, scamdemic too. The release comes after a second vaccine test volunteer, quote unquote, developed neurological problems. According to sources who claim to be familiar with the vaccine trials, the second volunteer suddenly started saying, "They've killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead," quote unquote, after the vaccine. Polls are finding Americans increasingly wary of accepting a coronavirus vaccine, and scientists inside and outside the government are worried that regulators, pressured by the president for results before Election Day on November 3rd, might release an unproven or unsafe vaccine. Quote unquote, the release of those protocols seems to reflect some public pressure to do so, said Natalie Dean, a biostatistician and expert in clinical trial designs for vaccine at the University of Florida. Quote unquote, this is an unprecedented situation, and public confidence is such a huge part of the success of this endeavor. So they're like, oh shit, this is unprecedented, because they're rushing this shit through, which is not really unprecedented, man, because it's exactly what these devils was talking about doing back in 05. But hey, man, of course they're gonna put it out like that, Of course they're gonna put it out like that, but this is what the elites of Esau had planned out. And so they was testing it out, and lo and behold, first test subject, that we know of, right? First test subject, they says it's a success. He says, quote unquote, they've killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead. So that zeal that he had, was no longer in him. They shoving this through, man. They're shoving this through. Yeah, they're shoving it through, man. Yeah, and even it says even scientists inside and outside government are worried that regulators pressured by the president for results before election day on November 3rd might release unproven or unsafe vaccine. In other words, they shoving it through, and it's it's gonna fuck you up. Like it's gonna, and this is a way. This is a way right here. Salakia. Pressed on the button on accident. Yeah, and she says the release of those protocols seemed to reflect some public pressure to do so. Pressure from above, and then the media is talking about we need a vaccine. And so the media, the elites, well, the media is owned by the elites, so the elites are pushing it. Experts have been particularly concerned about AstraZeneca's vaccine trials, which began in April in Britain because of the company's refusal to provide details about serious neurological illnesses in two participants, both women who received its experimental vaccine in Britain. Those cases spurred the company to halt its trials twice, the second time earlier this month. The students have resumed in Britain, Brazil, India, and South Africa, but are still on pause in the U.S. About 18,000 people worldwide have received AstraZeneca's vaccine so far. So, yeah, man. 18,000 people. Basically, 18,000 people are through. AstraZeneca's 111-page trial blueprint, known as a protocol, states that its goal is a vaccine with 50% effectiveness. The same threshold that the Food and Drug Administration has set in its guidance for coronavirus vaccines. To determine with statistical confidence whether the company has met that target, there will have to be 150 people ill with confirmed coronavirus among participants who were vaccinated or received placebo shots. However, the plan anticipates that a safety board will perform an early analysis after there had been just 75 cases. If the vaccine is 50% effective at that point, it might be possible for the company to stop the trial early and apply for authorization from the government to release the vaccine for emergency use. Oh, shit. Which means they could force it on you. The company did not immediately inform the public about the neurological problems of either participant, nor did it promptly alert the FDA that it was again pausing its trials after the second UK volunteer developed. Hold up. After the second UK volunteer developed illness, and an independent safety board called for a temporary halt, according to multiple people familiar with the situation. The company's chief executive told investors about the problem, but did not discuss them publicly until the information was leaked and reported by Stat. So AstraZeneca, it's a vaccine. So they were talking about a vaccine against what they call the God gene. But now, and then now what? And then now Esau has, and then now Esau, now Esau was testing this vaccine, and and lo and behold, someone came out and said that they couldn't feel God anymore. Like, is that a coincidence or not? Like, I don't think so. It ain't, man. That was in the works, and now, first test result successful. They may be acting like, oh shit, we didn't know it was gonna do this, but really, the elites, really behind closed doors, they're like, yeah, we got one, and they may end up being like, oh, it's all right, we gonna release it for emergency testing anyways. This might get might be water under the bridge, right? Might be they might just sweep it under the rug, or oh, we fixed it or some shit. We fixed the vaccine and now it's good or some shit. Or it was just even that it was just a fluke. They may say that in order to justify pushing it, but we're not ignorant of his devices. And that's why we can't be ignorant. According to 2 Corinthians 2nd verse 11, as well as 2nd Ezra, Ecclesiasticus, where talk about be not ignorant of anything small or little. Of any matter. Be not ignorant of any matter, small or little. And that's of anything. Let me get it. Be not ignorant of any matter, of anything in a small matter or great. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. That's Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 5, verse 15. And this is why, because the devil is in the details, and that's true. That's a true saying. A little detail that you don't know, that detail, seems that, oh, it's not a big deal, but that little detail can end up fucking you up, end up being a big deal, end up changing the whole situation. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, that's why we can't be ignorant of any matter, small or great, though. Because, well, yeah, like I said before, that what you think might not be a big deal might be a very big deal. That's also this. Let me check the comment board right real quick, see if there's any Rakim. You know, Rakim. uh, why the scriptures say, that's why the scriptures say to be like basically on the watch, be as watchmen, which that's Ezekiel Ezekiel talks about it towards the beginning of Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel 3 verse 17, son of Ezekiel verse 16, and it came to pass in the days that the word of Yahweh by Shemiel Shai came unto me, saying, verse 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest not him now warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand, and you will be responsible for the death of you Jakes, of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners if we don't warn you. Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, or he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So, we're telling you, we're warning you about these things, and to get right. And if you don't do it, if you don't listen, that's not on us. That's on y'all. It's on y'all. And it even applies to those in the truth, that verse 20, the righteous man in turn. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness. So a fallout, man, and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he had done shall not be remembered. But his blood will require at thine hand. Yeah. Verse 21, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live. He does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. So it's very important that we warn the flock. Warn you Jakes of these events right here. Warn you not to trust your enemy over and over. Over and over. And that's this is a clear case of why you don't trust your enemy. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10, that is proved every day. Every day something comes out about these devils that shows you that his iron rusted soul is his wickedness. That's verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted soul is his wickedness. You can't trust this man. And every day something comes out that proves that you can't trust him. So you trust this man, that's on you. Because we're bringing it out. You though he humble himself and go crouching, even if he does that, you're not supposed to trust him. Even if he acts like a friend, you gotta take good heed and be aware of him. Because this man he's a hunter, right? He's a cunning hunter. He's gonna do that. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass. And thou shalt wipe it, and you see, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. So you shall know that his wickedness, it didn't go away, it's still there. He's still wicked, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. And set him not by thee, verse 12. Lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up at thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And out the last, remember my words and be pricked therewith. So, out the last, don't set him by thee. Don't hang out with this dude. Don't trust this dude. Don't hang out with him. Don't trust him. Don't trust him with shit. Don't let him sit at your right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And take you out. And now the last, remember my words, and be pricked therewith. And that happened to our people many times. That's why they're calling themselves Jews, and they're in the land today. That's why they call themselves Europeans, Americans. Places where Jake ruled, and Jake, in the Northern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom, they're the original Americans. Hey, Japheth is the original Europeans. They got overthrown like that. And then Jake, and then Esau took power, and then our people took power. Our people took power like during the Dark Ages. And we ruled, man, during the Middle Ages between the old Roman Empire and the revived Roman Empire. That was us ruling in between. But what did this devil do? Overthrow us? Because we let him sit at our right hand. He took our seat. These devils are calling themselves the royals and shit now. They're the ones, they make all those kings out to be so-called white. Even though the truth, that couldn't be farther from the truth. They call themselves the Jews, right? Why? How did they start calling themselves the Jews? how they get that idea. When our people as the Maccabees forcibly converted them, and then we started so they basically we thought we could make them righteous like us, but it didn't work. It didn't work. So we trusted this man and it didn't work. We got fucked over. We trusted Rome. And Rome and these Idumeans that were still calling themselves Edomites, basically, because Idumean is just another, it's Edomite, it's just in another language. They teamed up to take us down. We trusted those. Yeah, they came together to take our people down. These Edomites, the Edomite Romans, and the Edomites that called themselves Romans, right? And the Herodian, the Idumeans. Hold on. They came together to take our people down. So, and then after, when the Khazars, which were Esau or Amalek, converted to Judaism, to Talmudic Judaism, they went to our people that believed in Judaism, believed in all that. Because you had real Jews. You had real Jews that believed in only the OT, and you had some that believed in the Talmud as well, of course. But you had real Jews that didn't believe in Yahushai, in Europe. And they welcomed them like they thought, oh, it's an independent kingdom of empire of Israelites that don't believe in Yahushai, basically. That are not under the Christian Israelites or the Muslims. The Christians, the original ones, were Israelites too. They were so-called black people. And those Jews also were. They just didn't believe in Yahushai. Then you had the Muslim Moors, of course, which those were Jakes that converted to Islam. But Jake, the original Sephardic Jews, the original Jews, which were so-called Negroes, they accepted these Amalekites and they fucking infiltrated them. Taught them, there was a doctrine out there that, the mom makes you you're a Jew if your mom is a Jew. Dad could be a heathen, but if your mom is a Jew, it makes you, and you're a Jew. So they'd also use that as well, and they'd take our women. And that's how they got in. Infiltrated the real Jews, and and then Esau was selling us as slaves and shit, selling the real Jews as slaves. We was getting sold from Spain and from Portugal. Guess who survived all that? The fake Jews. Even Cristobal Colon, he was a fake Jew. When you look back at it, what did he do? Bring Esau, pretended to be a friend of the Northern Kingdom, and then he brought those Spanish-speaking Edomites to the Northern Kingdom, and he took to take their seat, and he eventually took their seat. Now Esau is in America. Esau actually conquered the land of the tribe of Gad, and the part of the land of Issachar actually occupies that land, and the land of Reuben actually occupies it. And then these other lands that the Northern Kingdom is at, to Edomite elites, the Edomite Spanish-speaking elites. The Spanish the terrors rule. The Spanish Edomites rule those countries. Some of them ruled by Amalek even, because they came to the new, or not the new, or they came to Arsareth, or the Americas. So Amalek got up in there, and Amalek ruled some of these countries, and it's pure hell in those countries for Jake. So, thou the last, be pricked therewith. And these Jakes are pricks, man, but they regret it whenever the snake bites them, which is verse 13, who will pity a charmer that has been with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast. They regret it as soon as it happens. But then, when they adjusted to the situation, and it's actually not that bad, and they trust this man again. Well, it's not all of them. Some of them are good. Not all so-called white people, not all Espanol, not all so-called white people, which, they take to mean, which, by that I mean Edomites. So not all, but they refer to themselves as so-called white. Not all of them, not even all Jewish, not all of them are like that. And then they get fucked over. Again, they get fucked over. Jake is supposed to be the supplanter, but they fall for what this devil does. Because this devil, he's a deceiver. He don't play fair. Jake, that deal, Jake is a supplanter, but he play fair, though. He play fair, just be wise, He'll be wise. He just, he knows how to finesse, Esau is a straight up deceiver, though. That's the difference. And that's what he did. He took our seat. He took the Americas. Had us ruling the Americas, the Northern Kingdom countries, and the whole man. He took Jake down in Europe. Because we was giving him rights. Hey, he even fucked over Ishmael as the Turks. And then as a so-called white man just came in there. First the Turks, Amalek, because Ishmael gave them rights. So they just came up in there, man. First Ishmael had them as slaves, but then Ishmael gave them rights, and so they did their thing, man. They came up, they rose in the ranks and shit, and deceived. The Turks deceived the Ishmaelites, because they did that, and then once they took over, once the Turks, the Amalekites, once they took over, it was the Ottoman Empire, man. Ottoman Empire, they took over Ishmael, and what they did is they came against Jake that was ruling the Eastern Roman Empire. Yeah, so that's another example right there. And then the Amalekites that called themselves Jews, the Khazars, they took that land after what? After they trusted Esau. Salakia. My bad for that. Damn, shit's all zoomed in and shit. Salakia. Yeah. After they basically took, they deceived them again, man. Because you can't trust this man, and man is a servant. He ain't trying to cure you of rona, or keep you from getting rona. He's trying to take away your zeal for Yahweh Shem Shai, He's trying to make you a slave because you have no zeal for him. You willingly serve Esau. You'll be carnally minded like this devil. He's trying to do that. yeah, man. So don't take the vaccine whether it comes with the chip or not, and it very well could. That's why I titled it that. Or it could be they takes away your willpower, takes away your willpower to fight the chip, and then when he pushes the chip out, you're like you'll easily succumb. You won't have the willpower to fight it. You'll be starved. You'll be calmly minded. Be like, fuck, I gotta take this chip, or else I'm gonna die. You're not gonna consider. Even if someone was to tell you, you'd be like, oh yeah, right. You'd actually get disgusted at it. So you'd be more willing to take this chip. So don't take the vaccine. Don't take the shot. Don't take the shot. Fuck that shit. Take the shot. You take the shot, you're fucked, man. Take the shot, you through. You take the shot, you through, because that's him preparing you to take the chip. And you're like, yeah, preparing you to take the chip by taking that zeal, that faith that you may have, taking that away. Fuck, by taking that faith from you. And then Revelation chapter 14 verses 9 to 12. You're just missile food at that point. Hold up. Which, yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 14, 9 verse 12. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Tormented with fire and brimstone. The nukes. No, the nukes, man. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night. So eons for a very long time, you're going to be burning. Like Sarah, like the dream that Sarah had in that Terminator movie. This dream that Sarah Connor had, her burning up. They have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast of his image, and whosoever receive with the mark of his name. And worship, goes into obedience no matter what, unconditional obedience. You take that vaccine, that's kind of a part of it. So then he forces it on you and you don't resist, or you give in. That's a part of it, because then that's like he's preparing your mind for the chip, basically. If it don't have the chip, then he prepared you for it, and he'll give you the chip after. And they have no rest day or night who receive the beast, worship the beast in his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. That's why you can't get that. That's why you don't get the vaccine. That's why you don't get the vaccine. And you whatever punishments these devils have, whatever penalties they have, you're like, oh, fuck it. Still not going to take the chip. That's the patience and faith. Here's the patience of the saints. Well, faith too, it takes faith. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shai. Hey, so this is just a quick news update on that situation. I want to give all praise. I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners and shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, this devil's kingdom is going down. His kingdom is going down. That's why he's rushing this shit through. Because he knows that his time is short. That's why he's going to come down with great wrath. But stay with it. Stay with it. We almost out of here. We almost out of here. You get that crown of life, you get put to death. You may not. You may get delivered. Not all of us shall sleep. So... you're going to see this man go into captivity too. The reward is great as well. For the get-go, you're going to see you're going to be with the angels, watching this, these devils and these 2/3 and these heathens get burned up. Reward is great. Hey, so stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. And, Shalom. My heart love a ball, Baruch Shah. Wabad, Babal, Baruch Shah, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, bring it soon. It's coming soon. Alright, so, stay strong, and Shalom, Yasharallah forever.